Fuck it, I'm in fashion, I bet I still up it. He the fastest, don't know why I'm running. Fuck it, God. Nigga, stop putting names in your song.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the head spinning transitions that you just seen in the clip before this. And so without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. So the first thing you want to do is find a place where it like changes clips into like a person with like their head clearly shown. And here it's like conveniently lined up with a beat. So as you can see, like this clip switch right here is also lined up with a beat. Like that. So it's really good for us. So you're going to want to start out by duplicating your footage, right? Make sure the audio is turned off and cut it at this clip switch. And you can go like 15 frames forward, like this or something. And then you're going to want to click on the layer, right? Make sure your cursor is at the start, right click, hit time and then freeze frame. So this makes it pretty much stay still the whole time. And the next thing you want to do is rotobrush by pressing Alt W or coming up to this thing, click on it, and you're just going to want to mask out the head. So come here, right, make sure your thing's on like full resolution when you're rotobrushing. You're going to have it like this, right? If you want, you can like touch up the edges, make it so that there's less like the background in it, like that. You know, take away like the sky and the blue and stuff. And once it's done, you can like double check that it's going to stay like that by just going through the clip. And once you see that it is, you're going to hit freeze. And it's going to make it so that even if you change resolutions, like the shape of the mask is going to still be the same. So it makes it a lot easier to work, right? And so the next thing you want to do is add refine hard matte to the thing just to make it look a bit smoother. And you're going to want to move this layer so that like the end of the clip is like here, and then you're going to go like 12 frames back or like 13 frames back and then cut it. And this is the length of the clip that we're going to work with. So you're going to start out by adding blur motion curves to it. Come here to center XY, click on this little thing right here, and then click on like the middle of the head, right? This thing should be in like the center of the head. And you're going to keyframe Z-dist and rotate. So you're going to start out with your rotate value being like 330 and your Z-dist being like 14. And you're going to want to come like 3/4 of the way forward and make your Z-distance point like 8.7. Make your rotate like 10. You can turn off the shutter duration to make it look like better. And then here at the end it's going to be 0 and 1. Right, so these keyframes should have like a fast fade. So if we use this flow plugin, which I have a tutorial for, you're going to want to select these keyframes, draw the graph that you want, and hit click apply. Make sure this thing is selected, apply to keys. And you're going to want to come here and then just drag over them and hit F9 on your keyboard. It should look something like this. You can make the Z-dist like higher if you want it to look like more dramatic, like this. And you're going to want to make the last keyframes like a slower fade if that's what you choose to do. Right, I think I put it a bit too high, but if you want like 0.76, you could do that. Same fades like this. Alright, so now you got that. And to make it look better, like you can probably leave it at that and it'll still pass, but you're going to want to start making like a beat shake. So just get like an adjustment layer and cut it like right where the clip changes. Add motion child to it, make sure this mirror edge is selected. You're going to want to add a shake and a sapphire glow and a flicker. Sapphire flicker. And you can copy my values if you want. I use amplitude at 0.4. You can turn the threshold up a little bit, keyframe the brightness. And for the shake, I do like 3.5 amplitude. Motion blur length starts at 3. Frequency like 10. X shake like 20, and Y shake at like 190. Keyframe amplitude and motion blur length, and you can go like 10 frames forward or 11, and set this to 0, set this to 1, set this to 0, and set this to 0. And we're gonna go into the graphs. So the shake keyframes should definitely be like a fast fade, right? Something like this, so it's not shaking like crazy. And these can just be easy ease, drag over them and hit F9. And so your first transition should look something like this. Like that, right? I didn't do it so good right now because I'm just like trying to make it simple, do a tutorial for you guys. But you can always change around the values, make it look a lot better than what I'm showing you. And yeah, that's the first one. It should look something like this. Alright, the second thing you're going to want to do, alright, the second kind of transition is a bit different. So come to like the next clip change, we're just going to use the same guy. In this case, or you know what, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go like here. Just look for somewhere where, like right before the clip change, you have like a clear view of the guy in his head. So like right here. So right before the clip changes, you want to duplicate it, cut it, come here, cut it. Now you're just going to want to rotobrush right here. First his head, just like that. On frame number 1, freeze, duplicate the layer, remove the rotobrush, and then come here and rotobrush the rest of the body. So like that. Make sure you get the neck, take the head off. Right, and so after you have both of these single frames keyframed and, freezed and rotobrushed, you want to pre-compose both of them like this, and then freeze frame them again. Right, so now we pretty much have like an infinite rotobrush for both of them for as long as we want this effect to be. Right, so this effect, I don't know, you can make it like up to here. Right, I don't know how many frames that is, but like you can judge it. That's how long it's going to take. And we're going to start out by doing the head work. Alright, so come here, same thing, blur motion curves, set the center to the head, go Z distance, and shift Y. And so basically, as soon as the clip switches, go like a few frames forward, set the shift Y to like here, set the Z distance to something higher, and set it to rotate like that. Alright, make sure you're keyframing the center as well, like as the head is moving upward. So like change the Y values as it's going up, so it looks like this. Alright, and then take the beat shake from before and just bring it here. Alright, and then come forward a bit. And then you're going to want to reset it. Bring the rotate to like 360 so it doesn't look bad. Then bring that there. Bring this back here to the front. And so it should look something like this. You can make these last few frames like a slow fade. And then set these like an easy ease. So it looks like the head's being knocked off and then coming back to the body. And then right here, once it comes back to the body, we want to add the beat shake again. And here's where we're going to make it look like the body's falling apart. So we have like this. right? And so now we're going to work on the body, right? So you're going to want to add blur motion curves here, right? Set your keyframes here. And honestly, the only one you really need is like Y, and maybe like a rotate if you want. So just go like a few frames forward. It's like the end of the transition, and then just increase the shift Y, and like change this thing so that it looks like it's like falling sideways, like that. And set it to a fast fade. And for the head, you're going to want to also add like a Y shift, make it rotate a lot until it goes like off screen, so you can set it like here. And it looks like it's like, turn this up a bit and set it to the fast fade, so it looks like it's like bouncing off each other. For both of these, you can also make the shutter duration a lot lower, like 0.5, so it looks better. Right, and you can delay the body transition a bit so it doesn't look bad. For some reason this does look bad, but you can always just fix it by changing the values a bit. Right, and so if I've done it right, it should look something like this. And yeah, that's the kind of effect you'll see in a lot of videos nowadays. This is my first time ever doing it actually, so it doesn't actually look that great, but you get the gist. So you can recreate it, you can follow my tutorial, you can do the effect better. It's really up to you. But if you did enjoy it, do be sure to leave a like, support for the channel, comment down below anything you liked about it, or possible like suggestions for future videos, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.